Hola from Portugal and welcome to the beautiful Portuguese port of Cascais, which is the venue for the first of 5 regattas for this year's Audi MedCup series. The MedCup series of 2020. First event of 5, as I was saying, and we're into a new level of competition here. We've got new boats, we've got new rock star clientele, if you like, new skippers, new crew. And this is, well, one of them here, Mike Sanderson from the British America's Cup Team Origin campaign, who are here amongst a number of America's Cuppers taking part in this Audi MedCup series. This is really the Champions League of sailing, and we've had drama aplenty here today. Here in the studio with me today, Adrian Stead, who's been the centre of very much drama and what has been an action-packed day, race day 2 of this regatta in Cascais. Now, first of all, Ado, he is from Quantum, and he was, if you like, the tactician. But you tell us what happened on board, that suddenly we found that you were the driver.
Yeah, unfortunately, when we went to hoist the mainsail this morning, Terry sustained a blow to the top of the head by the boom, and so we started sailing, and very quickly it was apparent that Terry had to go ashore immediately and to sort himself out. He was very concussed, and so we got him in the rib with one of our sailors, who's a medic, and he's been for a CT scan. He's been passed okay, been told to rest, and hopefully we'll see him back on the racecourse on Saturday.
Okay, now Terry Hutchinson, of course, is the skipper and very much the mastermind behind the whole of the Quantum project, and you know, former champions. You've been leading here. You're suddenly thrown in literally at the deep end. When did you last actually helm a yacht, the start of a yacht race as big as this?
Certainly haven't started a yacht race for a while on the helm. Helmed a lot of boats over the last couple of years in offshores or things like that, but sort of being thrown in right at the deep end is definitely an understatement. But you know, with the team on the boat, first of all we were all very shocked and sort of quite upset, to be honest. And we pulled together, we got on with it, and you know, everyone on the boat just did a great job of making my life easier. We had a very simple game plan of keeping out of trouble and be conservative and basically keep the boat intact so that when Terry comes back he's still in one piece. Okay, well, we'll be hearing more from Ado in this highlights programme, but before racing we also talked to some of the other key figures here. Dean Barker from Emirates Team New Zealand about swanning around at the very back of the pack, and Tim Powell off Christabella about riding at the front after the first day of racing here, where we had 3 races and plenty to talk about then.
Well, first one we had a bad start, and we recovered as well as we could have really in the circumstances to get back to it was a respectable race. It wasn't obviously what we're looking for. The second one we had a really nice lane, probably in the top 3 going up the first speed, and we just got completely out of phase with the shifts and sailed ourselves backwards through the fleet. The standard of the teams is very high. The racing is going to be tough. There's no question about that. You just got to try to be consistent. Today was exactly the way we didn't want to sail. We just need good consistent results in the sort of top 4 or 5, and that'll be good enough to be in contention. What we need to avoid is the bad ones and the good ones. Mix emotions, but it's better to finish well than finish badly. So we're still very confident in our boat, the guys, and that we can sail well, and still, I think we're 5 points off the lead, and that's even though we're in 8th position. The position really is irrelevant right now. There's still 7 races to go, a lot of points on the table, and so a good day tomorrow and we're right back in contention again.
Well, yeah, obviously very, very well. We came in boat of the day. The conditions were very, very tricky, and we kind of kept our heads together and got some good shifts. We had some bad shifts, but in the whole it was, it all very positive for us. The boat's going well. I think the team's working well, and we got the first shift right on the first beat in the first race, and that kind of set us up for the day. We've done a lot of work over the boat over the winter. We've got a new mast, we've got new sails, so everything that we've done training-wise so far this year has all kind of been very positive. So, you know, we came into this regatta in a very positive frame of mind, so we'll see how it continues.
Okay, Tim Powell there. Now we're heading into the race day action from today, race 1. You're up on the start line. Very briefly, just tell us what was going through your mind that here you are, you've got to do it.
Well, we had time to do a couple of tacks before the start and did one go at the line just to get a feel for how the boat turns and everything, but very much we were not going to mix it at the starboard end where we figured all the action would be. But no, it's good. We got the boat going really fast off the line. We felt confident, and yeah, we had a little chance. We thought there might be something out the left to start with, and it held all the way out the beat, which was it was lovely to lead around the women mark.
Okay, well let's see how this actually pans out, because we've got race 4 of this Cascais regatta, and let's get stuck into it and see what happened.
Nice start from Quantum Racing. Top end of the line, Luna Rossa looking smart straight off the line. Bow in front up on the right side of the course. Luna Rossa tacking off early.
We're watching Quantum, and then, well, it's a pretty tight fleet in there, isn't it, Andy? Up at that top end of the line. Well, we're looking there at Quantum, Synergy. Oh, and there's been a split already. Luna Rossa and Audi A1 heading out to the right-hand side. They've opted to head, banging right straight away, Matt.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see that, because Luna Rossa had the right end of the line. They were close to the committee boat. Audi A1 were there as well. And as we've seen in the previous 3 races yesterday, getting out to the right early can often be the decider. If you can get out there into clear air, it's definitely an advantage. Now we see the bulk of the fleet there still heading on starboard, and they're actually heading out towards the left-hand side, and there we get the shots of the action, live action out there now. Now, one of the problems that these boats have got, especially the ones that we're seeing now with Quantum in the picture, then Synergy, then some of the others, is it's really difficult for them to get over to the right, even if they wanted to, because they've somehow got to cross the bows of all the other boats.
Yeah, sure, that's Quantum just round the mark now, as you say, about 50-60 metres ahead. Emirates Team New Zealand coming round second, then it's going to be Synergy, and then very close between the 2 British boats, Christabella and Team Origin. Origin will have the inside berth and should have a slight advantage. But really, Terry Hutchinson yesterday talking about making the left side of the course pay, and really they did a perfect job in that. And in these kind of situations where the breeze is shifty, they should be able to just use the wind shifts to best effect, and should be able to get richer.
Okay, that's Richard Meacham up on the bow of Emirates Team New Zealand. There's the end of the gate here as Emirates Team New Zealand swing around to follow Quantum. It's looking pretty sharp and breezy out there, Andy.
Yeah, it's still very puffy, very shifty, and gusty up at the windward mark, and that's been the key yesterday through all 3 races, and again just managing the approach to the mark.
Well, we're just seeing Quantum and Emirates Team New Zealand come together, as you said, Martin, and that advantage line, according to Virtual Eye, is reducing right down. We're down to 10 or 11 metres, and that's basically head-to-head in anybody's language as they come together. Quantum on starboard tack coming in towards the Kiwis, who are on port tack. What are the Kiwis going to do? Interesting. Bow goes down on the Kiwis. Are they going to dip them? This will be very interesting. It looks like the Kiwis are going to go round the transom of Quantum. Now, given that they were head-to-head as they came together, the Kiwis could have tacked just underneath Quantum and bounced them off to the right-hand side. But what the Kiwis have done in actually giving away a bit of distance and going around the back of Quantum suggests to me that they like what they see on the right-hand side and they want to get over there and get to it. If they tacked underneath Quantum, they would have allowed Quantum to go off to the right-hand side. Now the table has really turned, and if Quantum want to get back over to that right-hand side, it's going to be the Kiwis that dictate terms.
Okay, now we're seeing something very interesting, which I thought I noticed before. We're looking at Quantum now, and the driver if my eyes aren't deceiving me, is not Terry Hutchinson. It's Adrian Stead, the British navigator. And I did think that before, because Terry is particularly distinctive with the white mask. They take the win for Emirates Team New Zealand. Dean Barker there. Total lack of emotion, which is pretty normal on a Kiwi boat. No man love, no man love. And they will be quietly very, very satisfied with that. But Quantum a second. And that, I think, my maths aren't, it's not my strong point, but I suspect that might put Quantum on the top. And all it means for Team New Zealand, very significantly, I'm not saying that it's not insignificant, but it means that they've chipped another point away, because they've got a bit of a deficit to make up after their shambles of the first two races. So this is how the scoreboard looked after 4 races, and I was right for a change, and that was Quantum Racing up at the top with that second place. Emirates Team New Zealand climbing a little bit more out of the mire than they were before, but really the Quantum epic second place was the story of the day, without their skipper Terry Hutchinson, and instead with our guest here in the studio, Adrian Stead. And looking at that now, what sort of what sort of feelings does that conjure up for you?
I think it was really important for us to go out there and try our best. I mean, it was quite a blow losing Terry, and it was we all went out there and tried to really nail the race. In a way, disappointing that we maybe slipped Team New Zealand, but we sailed well. We sailed conservative. We got ourselves at the top of the leaderboard after the race, and I took a lot from it, a lot of confidence from it all. And
what we should talk about is the way you had to juggle the numbers, because you've lost Terry, the helmsman. You're the tactician coming in to steer. You're already 3 people down than you would have been normally a year ago, so you're still learning new positions. So how did you juggle those numbers? Because you'd have to bring somebody on board.
Well, we got Bloodsy came back in the rib, having gone and looked after him, so we got him back. Then we had Chris Kendrick from our shore team came on and basically covered the pit. Tommy Burnham, who's our pit guy, came and did tactics, and then at the top and bottom mark he went back to the pit. And so we it was a bit Brazilian football team, but everyone really put in, and we were very, very pleased with the way we sailed the boat, and it was a great team performance.
Okay, so what Adrian Stead had to go out and do was try and do it again in race 5, which once again was an absolute cracker with an awful lot to sail for. And everything's just so different in terms of the way that anybody can win one of these races.
Moment as they come in towards the weather mark, and here we have the shot, Audi A1 coming in towards the weather mark, just a boat and a half length in front of Artemis. They're now going to be setting up for their kite bear-away hoist, but they're also going to be considering what their tactics are going to be and trying to anticipate what Artemis might get up to when they come around that spreader mark.
Now, Andy Robertson on the water. Are you hearing us again now? So we just
we are. Thanks, Martin. We're just watching Audi A1 coming towards us.
Okay, now Matt was just saying before about the way that they've closed the gap. What did you see? How did you see that affected? Well, there must be a real battle going on now.
It was that progressive shift further inshore for Team Origin that just gave them that gain coming up the top third of that beat.
Well, this is suddenly game on, isn't it? We're looking at some fabulous pictures here.
Certainly in contention against Artemis, I would say. And it will be a real test of Team Origin's downwind speed, I think, in these conditions.
Well, we're obviously going to follow that fight downwind with Ben Ainsley there, renowned for his skills downwind. And this is, well, which way would you go now? There's Ben Ainsley at the helm, and he knows that he's got himself right back into a real scrap now, because There's not a lot between these three boats at all.
They did have a bigger distance to catch up, and they have sailed deeper, but it hasn't worked quite as well. I don't think Team Origin are actually in the hunt for a win on this. I think it really is between Audi A1 and Artemis. Artemis, we see there, put all their faith in that left-hand side as we look up the course. In the left-hand side, they powered over the top of Audi A1. They made it look really uncomfortable for Jochen Schumann. Jochen Schumann kept his cool, waited for that breeze to come down that he could jibe onto.